Welcome to News Now Alberta. This is your special correspondence, Special Ed. I've been asking a few comments why I don't just stick with Alberta news and go to other provinces. Well, there's a few reasons. The videos are within my corruption spectrum. Reason number two is that cops get sent or can apply all over the country if they get kicked out of one station and can easily end up in your backyard. And reason number three, it's my channel and I do what I want. This video is even out of country. We are going to Phoenix, Arizona, where officers brutally attack a deaf man with cerebral palsy. They said he took a fighting stance when they got out of the vehicle. All I see is him having his hands up in a defensive manner. Be the judge.
First tonight, this is video of Phoenix police arresting a black man who's deaf and has cerebral palsy. That arrest is violent, and in this story, we're going to show you close body camera footage that's intense and difficult to watch, so please consider this your warning.
It happened late this summer, and that means it happened after the Department of Justice released its historic and severe report against Phoenix PD. Here's ABC 15 Chief Investigator Dave Biscobig.
Yeah, we reached out to Phoenix police about this arrest, but they aren't saying much about it. They only confirmed it's now under internal investigation. But this case raises a lot of questions, and it really serves as sort of a test case. And that's both for Phoenix and the DOJ. See, Phoenix is trying to prove it doesn't need federal oversight. But will the DOJ trust the city when things like this continue to happen?
You've seen the surveillance video. A Phoenix officer pulling into a parking lot, pulling in front of a man, darting out of his truck, then immediately going after him. Now this is the body camera footage.
Everybody stop where you're at.
Remember, the man is deaf and has cerebral palsy.
Let's see. Tase him, tase him, tase him. Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. Hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. Hold them. Move. Hands behind your back. Hands behind your back. Open X-ray taser, deploy more units. Hand behind your back. Hand behind your back. One more. Hand behind your back! More! Hand behind your back! Hand behind your back!
Between the two officers, the man is punched at least 10 times and tasered 4 times.
He can't understand them, and he's deaf and he's physically compromised. The entire thing is just outrageous.
That's Jesse Showalter. He agreed to watch the video with us, and that's because he's an attorney for Tyrone McAlpin. Together, they're planning to bring an excessive force lawsuit against the Phoenix Police Department.
Well, he usually went to.
But before we get into that, first let's get into why officers went after Tyrone.
When we look at the body camera that we've seen so far, what it shows is that Circle K employees had a Caucasian male in the store causing problems, and they called the police to trespass this person who wouldn't leave.
Hey, you guys just want this guy to trespass? Okay.
And when police arrive, they don't do any investigation to find out what this guy was doing in the store. Instead, they talk to the guy, and he claims that he was assaulted and points to somebody in the street that he claims did it.
The guy pointed at Tyrone, who was across the street.
We're saying that's the guy that assaulted
right there. You back your head on it.
I mean, so we have a situation where the officers respond. Some white guy says, hey, no, some black guy assaulted me, and they just drop what they're doing and head right over there.
That's what the video shows.
He was standing outside the door opening his own.
That dude. Why didn't you wait here first? The black guy?
Yeah. And that takes us back to this point.
Let's see.
And this police officer, out of the gate, assaults him, and then uses Tyrone's attempts to protect himself to try to justify felony charges.
Officials charged Tyrone with aggravated assault and resisting arrest. In their reports, officers wrote Tyrone tried to walk away from them, took a fighting stance, threw repeated punches at them, and bit one of them.
Everything that I see in that video, as well as the other officer's body camera, looks like Tyrone's just trying to avoid being harmed by these officers. And that only makes them escalate the situation and increase the degree of violence that they're using.
One of the officers says Tyrone bit him. I mean, how do you respond to that?
Tyrone was face down on the ground with two officers striking and choking him, and that the only way that Tyrone could have possibly bit anybody on the hand or wrist is if one of those officers placed their hand or wrist in his mouth. And what it looks like from the video is that the officer who claims he was bitten was using an illegal chokehold on Tyrone.
Here's the question that, invariably, undoubtedly will be asked. Why didn't he just comply?
And the answer is easy, is he's deaf. He couldn't understand what they were doing, and he had done nothing wrong.
What messing with him for no reason.
What kind of disabilities do you have?
He's deaf and he's got cerebral palsy.
Okay.
And I've been on the phone with him since Circle K.
How is he deaf if you've been on the phone?
Because I spoke sign language, that's why. I signed to him. That's why.
Nowhere in their police reports did the two officers document they were told about Tyrone's disabilities. But records do show when another cop went back to check store surveillance footage and talk to witnesses, none of it supported the white guy's claims. Remember, he told officers Tyrone assaulted him at the store. But there was no evidence of any assault. Store employees say the white guy was the one causing problems, getting aggressive, laying on the floor, and refusing to leave. In fact, store employees told police Tyrone tried to get him out of the store and eventually just left. Now, this all happened on August 19th. That's 2 months after the Department of Justice released the results of its historic investigation into Phoenix PD.
It's almost like a single example that illustrates all of the problems highlighted in the DOJ's report.
Among many failures, the DOJ found Phoenix PD has a pattern and practice of racial bias, escalation, and not giving people a chance to comply before using force, excessive use of tasers, dangerous use of chokeholds, and violating the rights of people with disabilities.
It's hard for me to understand how the city can come out and say with a straight face that it is meeting the DOJ report head on when this man, Tyrone McAlpin, is being charged with assault on police officers for this incident where, the video tells the whole story.
Hey, get up! Stand up!
So still now a month later, he's still facing charges for this.
That's correct.
He's in cuffs.
Now, as you just heard, Tyrone is still facing several felony charges. In fact, even though those officers are under internal investigation, they still just went into court to testify against Tyrone. And as you can see, our cameras were there, and a judge ruled there was probable cause for the case to move forward. Now, in our next report, you'll hear those officers on the stand, hear their justification for the arrest, and you'll also see some bizarre moments in the courtroom.
Very tough to watch. Thank you very much, Dave.
This to me was a brutal attack. No chance for the guy to stop, no questions asked, just attack mode right away. And when the wife comes up to try to calm her husband, the pig has the audacity to tell her she will be arrested. The video from the security camera really shows the story. And the guy is charged with resisting arrest and assault on an officer. The only assault I saw was from the officers and not the deaf man. The man spent a month in jail because he couldn't afford bail. What kind of crap is that? This is proof of violence policing, where you attack first and figure things out later. Cops will always make excuses like he took a fighting stance. That can be anything. People fight from all stances. There is no specific stance that people take. Cops are now investigating themselves and will decide if their cop friends did anything wrong. Phoenix police are fighting against a bill that want to bring in a group to oversee police use of force. By this video, the Phoenix government needs to bring in the bill and get the Overwatch team as quickly as they can, because this was pure assault on a man that was attacked because of hearsay. In court, the officer Benjamin Harris said this could have been all avoided if the man had told them that he was deaf. When did he have a chance to say anything? The guys attacked him right out of the vehicle. Officer Harris is claiming a hand injury because of the victim. He got those injuries while punching the victim. How is this the victim's fault? The police force state in the officer's defense that there was nothing that indicated that the victim was deaf. Again, you don't take the time to evaluate anything. The white man that said he was assaulted by the victim was never proven to be assaulted, and no charges were laid on the deaf man for assaulting this man. I believe he used it as a defense because he was the one the cops were there to see, because he was causing a disturbance. He saw a black man across the street and accused him of anything he could. Interim Police Chief Michael Sullivan released a statement. Since I took the job as interim chief of the Phoenix Police Department, I have talked a lot about striving to be a self-assessing, self-correcting agency. That means taking a serious look at cases that may call into question the actions of our officers. There are many who are concerned after seeing the video of officers' interaction with a man they later learned was disabled. I recognize the video is disturbing and raises a lot of questions. I want to assure the community we will get answers for those questions. What do you think about this brutal attack? Leave your thoughts in a comment. I hope this guy sues for everything they have. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.